Okay. Good morning, everyone. Well, it's morning for us, like we always say. Who knows what time it is for you? Welcome back to another episode of Blue to Black. Keith returns to Pokemon. It's not about bruises or injuries or anything like that. It's about me playing Pokemon and being guided through that process by the lovely and knowledgeable Will and Amnet.
Hello, everyone. Hello, Keith.
Hello, Will. I hope that you are well today.
I am doing pretty well, Keith. It's been a long 2 weeks. I hate that we had to miss last week, but our early time slot and being in this play and everything I was in, it's taking a lot out of me, Keith.
Oh no,
but I'm back.
I completely believe you, man. I understand, and yeah, it is no doubt early, and your performance in Annie was spectacular, superb even.
Oh, come on, Keith. I had about 2 lines maybe. Your dad. I was in the play with Keith's dad. Everyone though, and Keith's dad may have stolen the show. That's all I'm going to say.
I don't know about that.
I was pretty good.
I was proud of him though. I really enjoyed his big laugh at the end, where he says "Mary" several times. But the audience likely doesn't know anything about that, so the audience doesn't care about my dad. They want to talk about Pokemon, right?
Yeah. Yep, that's what you're all here for, folks.
Exactly. Will and I will shoot the breeze about my dad after we stop recording.
Yeah. All right. So Keith, I believe where we left off was we were in Nimbasa City.
We were.
You had just beaten Elisa, the Lady Gaga gym leader.
Exactly.
And
her frustrating Emolgas.
Oh yes. I hate those Emolgas so much.
Yeah, I've encountered a couple since then, and I just seethe with anger every time they appear.
Yep. I think before we started recording, you mentioned something about a Pansage that we might have meant to talk about last week, but did not. Is that true?
Yes. Okay. I couldn't remember when Pansage, whenever I forced, which I believe is the only way to do, but maybe not. Maybe you can level him up. But I evolved my Pansage into a Simisage, and that was a pretty exciting experience because Pansage looked pretty stupid, and Simisage actually looks pretty cool.
Oh yeah, the Elvis Presley monkey. He's
exactly.
got the hair.
Oh yeah. Would you like to know what I nicknamed him?
I would.
I named him Hairdo because of his hair.
Hairdo. I like it. That's a really good name. Hairdo.
I appreciate that. So yeah, before this episode, I didn't have nicknames for all of my Pokemon, and Will encouraged me to go back and rename them, and I have benefited from that, and just in the fact that I care about them more now.
Exactly. That's what I was hoping to go for with that one. I believe you mentioned last week that your Pansage, now a Simisage, has the move Seed Bomb.
Oh yeah.
I told you that is an amazing move. Did he learn that when he evolved? Is that how that happened?
No, he actually knew it before he evolved. I don't remember at what point he got that move, but he definitely it was a pre-evolution move that was tearing him up before evolution, and then after he got his sweet Mohawk Elvis hair, it was tearing him up after that too.
Well, that's awesome. I think you might have lucked out because I think it's one of those things where the Pokemon won't learn any more moves after you give it the stone.
Yeah.
So you extracted all you could out of him before you evolved him, so that was nice.
Well, that's something I find interesting because you say they don't learn any more moves after you evolve them, but I remember like an NPC or something saying like, "Hey, did you know that Pokemon are much harder to teach new moves or learn? They're not as apt to learning new moves after you evolve them." So I didn't know whether it was going to be it's just going to take longer, or if it was completely impossible.
That is how it works. Basically, like moves that they'll learn from leveling up, they'll learn faster if you don't evolve them.
Mm-hmm.
So like a Charmander will learn Flamethrower a lot faster than a Charizard will.
Yeah.
Like earlier in the levels, but if it's a Pokemon that evolves by a stone, once you give them that stone and they evolve, like Pikachu evolves into Raichu through a Thunderstone and stuff like that. Anything that takes a stone, after you give it the stone, it won't learn any more moves through level up.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't really know why they do that, but that's how it's always been.
Gotcha. Hey, that's all right with me. I just want to make sure I'm understanding the world we're living in.
Yep, you've got an ideal Simisage right now with that seed bomb.
I'm telling you.
Best grass move in the game, man.
Oh, seed bomb! It doesn't matter whether you're grass or not, depending upon what you are. As long as you're not as long as it's not ineffective at all, it'll rip a Pokemon.
It'll tear them up. It'll tear them up.
Tear them up.
All right. So after you defeated Lady Gaga, what happened right after that? You go straight into the next city, right?
Yeah, because I think after Nimbasa, up there to the left, you go, which I guess would be west. You go west, and there's like that area where everybody's gathered around like this. It's like they're all hanging out in the street, and there's like a trailer and stuff.
Yeah, there's like a clown there too, and like a bunch of stuff going on. Kind
of a strange hodgepodge of people. So I'd actually fought all of those before Nimbasa because I was trying to level up my Pokemon.
Oh yeah.
And doing that, like going past the city and fighting people beyond it to level up Pokemon has become a technique of mine. As I'm playing Beyond. But yeah, I fought all of them. Then I went across the bridge to Driftvale City. Is that what it is?
Yep.
Yeah. So I entered Driftvale City, and I was hanging out there talking to folks. They said something about cold storage, that there were people catching Pokemon over there. So I went over to cold storage and
smell a little Team Plasma.
Oh, I smelled some Team Plasma. I got a nose for Team Plasma now, Will.
Nice.
I'm like a hound dog, sniffing out that plasma and cleaning it up anywhere I go.
Oh yeah.
At least that's what I am so far. I do find that they're the most rewarding people to battle. Just because it makes sense while you're doing it.
Mm-hmm. You're like, do I smell some virtue around here?
Yes, I do. That's exactly it. But yeah, I fought them. I went into that cold ice storage place and I skated my way around until I fought everybody there.
Nice.
That actually brought back some nostalgia from Pokemon Blue, because I don't know why. I don't know if that was a thing, like the ice thing where you jump on the ice and you slide around. Do you think that...
Not ice, but there was in Team Rocket's hideout. It was the same mechanic, kind of. It was like on the floor there were these arrows, and if you stepped on an arrow, you would like fly in that direction.
Okay.
So, yeah, it is very similar.
I knew that going on that ice had a linking memory back to the old Pokemon game. I just didn't know exactly how.
Yeah, it's kind of a thing with like Evil Team hideouts, and that little gameplay mechanic of like flying forward.
Yeah.
It's like a motif, if you will.
If you think about it, if in real life, because again, I was listening to some of our parent series. Brandon plays Pokemon from the Easy Allies, which Will has turned me on to all of the Easy Allies stuff, and I am absolutely smitten with all of them.
I knew you would be.
Yeah, I'm watching a ton of stuff. I'm now starting their tabletop gaming series.
Oh yeah, I haven't seen season 2 yet, but season 1 was amazing.
Yeah, but I was watching, and because Brandon Jones has even less experience with Pokemon than I do. Like I never even played the old ones, and he's starting out with one of the old ones, and he's always like, talking about it as if it was really him. It was like, not like it's these characters, but like if this thing was happening in real life. And he was like, if I go into this Pokemon hideout, I just assume my Charizard is right there behind me, and everyone is like just jumping at me, and I'm just with one swoop just flamethrower everybody in the room.
Yeah.
And I just find it funny that like you have these hideouts where like we're gonna put some arrows on the floor, and they'll come in, they'll slide around, they won't be able to get to us. And I just picture that's a funny thought. Like, could you imagine like Al Capone thinking that way?
How can we really discombobulate anyone that sneaks in here?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I fought them, took care of them, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. I didn't have any big issues with them.
Nice. Before going back a little bit, before you crossed that little bridge over to Driftvale City, I believe you met a character called Alder. Do you remember him?
Oh yeah, he's the guy with the red hair.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Did they say who he was?
Yeah, he's the Pokemon champion.
Okay, yeah, I do remember that, because normally they kind of like try and string you along in the games, like a character you'll meet throughout the game like ends up being the champion at the end, and it's supposed to be like, what? You were the champion all along? But like with this game, they're just like, yep, this is Alder. He's the champion.
Yeah.
He's pretty cool.
He's pretty cool.
Like these little kids.
Yeah, you don't think about that. I'm playing from the perspective of a 25-year-old man. Or a 24-year-old man, and I'm playing as a child who's walking around. Like, you don't think about the fact that there's this adult that's coming and is like, you know what, kid, I'm the best in the world. You're got to be second best. So if it's not me who saves it, probably you.
Yeah.
So yeah, I met him, and it was because he doesn't, his little sprite on the game. Also, I'm learning these new the terminologies from watching all these guys talking about games. Is that the sprite on the screen? He doesn't. Yeah. He looks a little bit more intimidating, like with the red hair. He doesn't look like he'd be your friend, but he is.
He's an extremely jolly individual.
Mm.
So yeah, you're over in Driftveil City. You knock out everybody, all the Team Plasma folk.
That's correct.
And you met another wacky sage, I'm assuming?
Yes,
every time
I
you run into him, there's a new sage.
Okay, that's something that I'm not picking up on. I guess I'm just looking at the picture of him, because they all kind of look the same to me,
maybe
except for Getsus.
I honestly might be confusing it with Black and White 2,
Okay.
but where you run into more sages, you might just be running into Getsus over and over again, honestly.
Well, no, I don't think it's Getsus, because it's like one of the other ones, so that's why I wonder, because I do think the rest of them look the same besides him.
Yeah.
So I think
honestly,
you might be right.
Yeah, and this Black and White is my favorite Pokemon game, but the only sage I can name outside of Getsus is Zinzalin, and that's because it sounds like insulin. So
the diabetes sage.
The diabetes, yeah.
You got me.
He kind of looks like the diabetes sage too.
I picture him like at like those. I found some of those ice Pokemon that are the ice cream cones. Just like,
I love those Pokemon so much. I just want to say.
Yeah, I just imagine like this. Now that we're talking about him as the diabetes sage, like he just opens his cloak and 100 Pokeballs fall out, and they're all full of these ice cream Pokemon. And the game gets even darker because you have to stop him from eating these ice cream cones.
All right, well, now that you brought up the ice cream Pokemon, Keith, I want to derail us just a little bit for a little philosophical discussion.
We weren't already derailed? Get me off the rails, man.
Even more so.
Yeah.
Like I said, Keith, we're going for, just full disclosure, folks, we're going for 30 minutes today instead of 20. So, off the rails. We're going off the rails here.
Yeah, join us. Follow us down the cliff.
All right. So, Keith, a lot of people... Generation 5, I remember, is where people really started complaining about the new Pokemon designs.
Okay.
Every Pokemon game since Red and Blue has had its fair share of complainers. But I feel like more than ever in Black and White, they had the ammunition. Because if they wanted to be simplistic, they could very easily say, well, Black and White, they're really running out of ideas. A trash can Pokemon? A garbage Pokemon? Really? An ice cream cone? But the way I see it is, this is not a Pokemon based on ice cream. This is what ice cream is based on.
Okay.
I see it as that these Pokemon come first, and then the human world grows and evolves around them. Like, I think the humans saw Vanillish and said, that could be a really tasty treat if we got like a little waffle cone and then put ice on top of it and made like a snack and made it look like Vanillish. That's silly. This totally could just be Stockholm Syndrome. Like, I could just be like trying to excuse my captors. But that's how I see it.
I think that's definitely an interesting theory. I think if you apply that logic to everything, it quite possibly could fall apart. I can't imagine what... Mia is barking. I need to fix that. I don't know what's wrong with her. Mia, shut up. We're doing something. Stop. Please, I'm begging you. Don't bark at me. But if you apply that theory to everything, such as the trash can Pokemon, are we to say that that humans never thought of putting their trash in a bin before this Pokemon came, or they never thought of trash bags?
That was a bad example because it's not really a trash can; it is more of a trash bag.
Right. Yeah.
Um, I don't know.
I'm not trying to tear it apart.
I think that one's a little bit more flimsy, but I still think it could maybe like I don't know. Our bag design was influenced by how a Trubbish looks.
Maybe so.
This is totally Stockholm syndrome. You can tell how I'm really racking my brain trying to.
Well,
Keith.
I mean, I haven't seen any evidence of an ice cream cone in the Pokemon world in this game. I haven't seen any evidence in Unova that I've never been offered an ice cream cone. You know what I mean? So who's to say that ice cream even exists in Unova? Who's to say? I don't know.
It might not. I think that in Sun and Moon, though, I could be crazy, but there's like snack shops, and I'm pretty sure they have like pictures of Vanilishes like at the snack shops.
Okay.
So, yeah,
I think
that might be polluting my brain a little bit.
I think you may have a Stockholm syndrome situation going on there, because if we're saying that ice cream may have been invented as a result of seeing a Vanillish, why did they take Vanillish and say, oh, that'd be good food, and not do that with something else? Like, why is there not like Pig Night Barbecue or whatever? Because like he's pork and the heat source in one.
True. Yeah.
Again, I'm not trying to tear this thing down for you, but I don't.
No, I actually think that's very interesting. I think that if anything, if there's one thing I really do want to see out of Pokemon Switch, I think that could be really cool. Like having restaurants with like Pokemon on them and stuff as like their mascots, like a Pig Night Barbecue.
Yeah, dang! I thought you were about to say that people were eating Pokemon.
No. They could hint at it a little bit more.
Yeah.
I do remember one thing that was really cool that never really made it into the game, but in the concept art for Pokemon Sun and Moon before it came out, I remember a drawing of like a fire truck with a Blastoise on the back of it.
Yeah.
And I remember getting really excited about that, just thinking like, ooh, what if they have like all these new ways of like how Pokemon like live with people and interact with them, like a Blastoise fire truck, like
oh yeah,
with Blastoise being a firefighter and stuff. Like I thought that would have been so cool.
That would be cool.
They never quite, dived into it anymore. But so yeah, we've gotten quite derailed, Keith. We're already approaching 20 minutes.
That's
so let's
all right.
try and get this back on the track just a little bit.
Man, I could sit here and chat all day.
I could too, my friend. I could too. All right, so we're in Driftvale City.
Yep.
Driftvale City has one of my favorite gym leaders in this game. Just because I love it whenever in an RPG, I love it when a character's dialogue is written with an accent. Yeah. I'm just a sucker for that. So I can like really read it in their voice.
Now explain, because he's saying like, he says instead of you, like he says you're, like Y-E-R and stuff. Yeah, you're right. I was trying to figure out what you meant, but yeah, I remember now that it was like all but saying like, giddy up, partner.
Yep. Yeah.
But I enjoyed him too. I feel like I almost felt a little gypped that I didn't spend as much time with him as I did with other gym leaders.
Yeah, it's always kind of disappointing for me too whenever a gym leader is not as difficult as like the last one, because you want it to keep ramping up in difficulty.
Yeah, well, even so, like in Castilia or whatever city it was, the one I got the name wrong, not Celestial, but maybe Castilia, because you run around the whole city with that gym leader fighting Team Plasma or whatever it is you're doing. Like you see him everywhere. Yeah. But you didn't really have that with Driftvale City, and I would have gladly traded just because I guess that's the Southerner in me. Is like I want to hang out with the redneck guy.
Yeah, that's totally what it is. I don't want to be with this city slicker.
Exactly.
I want Clay to show me the way. Clay, show me the way.
All you sick folk. Y'all don't even know.
See, me, I would have wanted to hang out with Elisa more, the Lady Gaga gym leader.
Yeah. Oh, that's the theatrical, the thespian in you.
Yep, that's what that is.
The show.
In Black and White 2, she's got a runway that she fights you on.
Oh, nice.
She goes like full model status, yeah, and she gets like a redesign too. It's so awesome. But
I will tell you. You want me to tell you about that battle?
I do. What stood out to you in that battle?
My boy Simisage. Now, up until that point, Simisage and Pansage was just I need a leaf. I need a plant type Pokemon. I want a plant type Pokemon for whenever them water boys come at me.
Water boy, Adam Sandler.
yeah. Whenever Adam Sandler pops out of the water. No, but that's what he was up until this battle. But after this battle, he earned a permanent spot on the team.
Nice.
Because this is where I actually learned that plant type people can be good. I think against ground type.
Mm-hmm. And rock type.
Yeah. And he just, I will say him and I think I had a. Did we talk about my upgrade to Palpitoad? Because I think I evolved.
I don't think so. Well, we talked about how you'd seen the evolution of.
Yeah, and I was disappointed.
Yeah.
But yeah, I had also evolved a Temple, I think, by this point. And we went to battle there. And I'm pretty sure my Temple did some work on the ground types, but I think, based on my notes, it's been a while since I've done it, but Simisage just he ripped those boys a new one with Seed Bomb, and it was just like Clay or all of the gym leader or all the trainee people were like, they stood him up and Simisage knocked him down with Seed Bomb, and I was like, you know what, dude, Hairdo, you my boy,
Nice.
you're sticking around.
Was he already named Hairdo at this point?
I believe I did go back because I didn't have names, so you recommended I go back to the name raider, and I went and I named all my Pokemon at that point.
Nice. That was a nice little 1-2 punch of getting closer to Hairdo.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh yeah. We're buddies now. Like right now, he's probably the second lowest level Pokemon I have on my permanent quote unquote crew, but I can't not.
Seed Bomb will carry you a long way though.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember last week we talked a little bit in the weeks in between these episodes, but I remember recommending to you, because I knew you weren't feeling Palpitoad too much.
I was not.
So I said, Keith, go back to that desert and try and find you a fossil.
Yeah.
Did you do that?
I actually didn't even have to do that, because when you said that, I had the thought, maybe I already have this fossil, because I'd already wandered around the desert some. Checked my inventory, already had it. Went back to, I don't know the name of that city. Went back to the museum though, and I said, "Hey, I got this fossil. Can you make it into a living creature again?" And
sure.
Yeah, sure, with ease. Like, give me 50 cents.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I got a Tortuga out of that, which I like the name of that Pokemon.
Excellent. You can actually only get one out of those two fossils, so I'm really glad that you got Tortuga.
Yeah, what's the other one?
Man, Keith, now you're gonna wish you had the other one.
Oh no!
It's a feathered pterodactyl, basically.
Oh dang! I do wish I had that one.
Yeah. The turtle though is water, and that I wanted you to have a water type. And the one thing about the feathered pterodactyl, it wouldn't really hinder you too much in playing through the game, because these games are really easy. But in a competitive sense, he's really bad, because his ability. I forget what it's called, but basically as soon as his health reaches half, his attack stat gets cut in half.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I prefer the because Tortuga has like the resiliency or whatever. I think that if
he's very bulky. He's very powerful also.
You can't one-shot him.
Yeah, you cannot one. You can one-shot him with some grass moves. That's about his only.
Yeah.
His only weakness. I don't know if you know this, Keith, but with Pokemon, you know how some Pokemon have two types?
Yep.
Like Tortuga is rock and water. Weaknesses and resistances stack. So Tortuga is rock and water, so he is 4 times weak to grass moves.
I have noticed that. I didn't know about about him stacking, but I've noticed that like if a plant type or whatever pops up, I need to get him out of there.
Evacuate.
Yeah, danger, Will Robinson. But I named, since he was like the turtle and everything, I named him Crush, like from Nemo. Right?
Nice.
That's the turtle from
Yeah, that's an excellent name. Real quick, not to sidetrack us again, but you said Danger, Will Robinson. Have you ever heard my story involving that phrase?
I have not.
Okay, because the only time I'd ever heard that was in this instance in my life. I was visiting Evan Williams, my friend, and in Virginia, and we were at the liquor store, and we were buying a very large quantity of alcohol, and the guy at the counter Have you ever seen the episode of South Park with World of Warcraft?
Yeah, I think that's one of the only episodes I've seen.
Nice. Well, he looked just like that guy. And he was at the counter. He had a ponytail. And we set this large handle of alcohol on the counter. And he just goes, "Danger, Will Robinson, danger."
That sounds like someone who shouldn't have a job at the liquor store.
I know. It was really, really, really funny.
Yeah.
Okay, so anyways, back to what we were saying.
Yeah.
So you got a bacon.
I do.
You got
bacon
Crush.
Bacon remains pig night right now.
Nice.
We've got Crush, who is Tortuga.
Keith, you don't have he's still a pig night?
He is still at this point.
Okay.
Because one thing we haven't done, because again, Brandon plays Pokemon. Kyle Bossman limits him to how much he can play every week. Like, you can't go so far, but you've not done that with me. Also, I just enjoyed it, so I just kept going. So I'm trying to go back in time to put myself in that mindset. So I don't want to spoil anything by telling you what he is now. There are very few options.
Yeah. All right. So we got Crush the Tortuga.
Mm-hmm.
Is he still a Tortuga at this point in the story?
Currently, within the episode or in my
within the episode.
Yeah. He is Tortuga at this point.
Tortuga. We got a Hairdo, the Simisage.
Mm-hmm. You want me to fill out the rest of this team for you?
Oh man, we haven't even gone over Skyla yet. Let's go over Skyla first, and then we'll go back and we'll end on the team.
Okay, cool.
Okay. So after you took down Clay, you go through another route.
Yep.
And you enter a very, very cool dungeon.
Yeah,
I think one of the cooler dungeons in any Pokemon game, just the way that it looks, like from a visual standpoint.
Remind me of which one
Cave.
that one is.
Chargestone Cave.
Chargestone Cave.
It's like it's like a cave that's very like electric-y. And like there's electric stones that you have to push around.
Yeah. God, I'm sorry, I was completely drawing a blank on that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do remember that. There were those gear type Pokemon in there.
Yeah. Fun fact: Clink's Japanese name is Gear.
That's funny.
Yeah.
I like that. Well, we don't have to spend too much time on this one.
Yeah, I remember following Black and White very, very closely because up until the first 3DS Pokemon games would get released in Japan like 6 months earlier.
Yeah.
So I would like be scouring all the Japanese magazines, like learning everything about the games before they even had Japanese names or English names. So Gear is like burned into my brain. Clink is Gear to me.
That's funny.
Yeah.
I think I caught one of those. I'm trying to remember what else, because we don't really talk about the Pokemon I catch and don't use, but I do. If my goal is if I see a Pokemon I haven't seen before, I will try to catch that Pokemon. And I probably have like an 80% catch rate with those. There's some that I have missed, but
nice.
I don't think we're trying to fill out the Pokédex with this series.
Nah, maybe in the next one though. Yeah. Maybe in a Pokemon Switch, because I'm gonna have to do that. Because not to go into this, Keith, but basically my 3DS's SD card like just totally crapped out on me. I don't know what happened, but the first time I ever got a Pokemon game digitally, Pokemon Ultra Moon, I bought digitally, transferred all my old guys in, all 700, 800 dudes.
Good lord.
And yeah, I had a full living Pokedex. And then my SD card ate craps like 2 weeks later, and I was like, man, the one time I get a digital copy of the game, I lose them all.
Oh, so, man. That would have been crushing.
It was. I'm still recovering. But basically, when Pokemon Switch comes out, I think you and me could maybe do a Gotta Catch Them All like collab where we try and help each other catch them all.
Oh, I'm all about it, dude.
All right. So, yeah.
But anyway, we were in the cave. Again, we run into Team Plasma some in there. Mm-hmm. I think. Take care of them. Speak with Sharon, I believe. Sharon, whatever we want to call them.
Yeah. And Bianca, she's settling into her new role a little bit.
Her role is kind of like I'm not good at this, but I'll protect people who are.
I think she's Professor Juniper's research assistant.
Oh, yeah.
Or she's like settling into that role.
Yes, she stopped coming up to me to battle me.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if you're ever going to play Black and White 2, so I'm just going to go ahead and say this. Black and White 2 starts off with Bianca as Professor Jennifer's official assistant, and she gives you your starter Pokemon.
Aw.
So that's a nice little moment of growth. I was really tickled when I saw that.
That's good for her. Good for you, Bianca.
Sharon's the first gym leader in Black and White 2.
Ah. Again, okay. Yeah. I like it.
It is really nice. All right, so we take Team Plasma down a peg again in Chargestone Cave.
That's right.
Bianca's doing some research. I think she was specifically researching Clanks too.
Yeah.
So that's a fun fact. And then you emerge from the cave into Icarus City, I believe.
Yeah, the snowy city. Mia, you're being ridiculous. Don't be such a diva, please. I'm begging you.
I think this is the city before the snowy one. I think this is the one with the airplane.
Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. You're right.
Yeah. Yeah, and then you have to go up there and ring that bell.
Yes, at the tower.
Yeah.
But I think I did that after the gym. So if you want to save that for next week, we can talk. We can discuss the tower.
That. I forgot. I forgot that they say you can do one before the other one. I always go ring that bell first.
Oh yeah.
But yeah. So yeah, you said you liked Clay a lot? What was it? Skyla? It's Skyla, I think. Yeah.
Yes, I have her name written down, but nothing else much really struck me about Skyla.
Yeah, she's a little forgettable.
Poor Skyla.
Not to hate too much, but yeah, she doesn't stand out to me. I do like her Swanna though. I love that Pokemon.
Yeah.
The ugly duckling Pokemon.
Yeah.
That turns into a beautiful swan.
That is a beautiful thing. I like that they add that kind of thing in there. Like, give me that. Give me that reference. Give me that payoff.
Yeah.
But that gym battle, it wasn't. I don't remember if it was tough for me, but I have written down that I had a Blitzel last time.
Ooh, yeah.
Between last time and now, and this point in the game, I evolved the Blitzel to a Zebstrika.
Zebstrika or something like that?
Zebstrika, yeah, well, however you say it. I named that one Zapra.
Nice.
Like zebra, which is also the other name is a play on zebra, so I felt like that name wasn't exactly the best, but doesn't matter. Zapra will do. And he was just a real MVP of that whole battle.
Oh yeah, that's where that double resistances and double weaknesses is coming in. A lot of her Pokemon, or at least one of them I know, is water and flying. Yeah. So electric just tears them up.
He teared them up. Yeah, he really ripped him a new one. And then I got that, what is it, 5th or 6th badge right there.
6th badge, Keith. We're in the home stretch, buddy.
I know it. I think I did some real game completing, and I didn't finish the game yesterday, but I did some big moments.
Nice. Ooh.
But I think that's a good tease because we're at 32 minutes now.
Yep.
So that's I'll tell you the rest of my team before we go. How about that?
Okay. Let's just so we can get them all back up on screen.
Yep.
We got Bacon the Pig Knight.
Mm-hmm.
We got Zapper the Zebstrika.
That's right.
Crush the Tortuga.
That's right.
Hairdo the Simisage.
Mm-hmm.
And who are your last two little buddies?
I've got Tranquil. His name is Flyboi.
Nice.
Flyboi.
I think I know why you got him in the team.
Oh, yes, indeed. I got to have a flying Pokemon.
Yep.
And then I have my what's his name? My Sandile. Evolved from a Sandile to a Crocorock. And it was a female, so I named her Dirty Girl. Because she is a ground Pokemon. And it's the best. That I didn't realize that name would be so good until because Sandile has that move called Sandile's Moxie after he takes out a Pokemon, so it became Dirty Girl's Moxie. Yeah.
Keith, I was gonna go back to sleep after this, but I don't know if I can now.
Well, I'm glad I can keep you up. But
That's so fun.
This one has been real fun. I've enjoyed it, but I think at 35 minutes we ought to shut it down and save some for next week.
Yep. Sounds good, folks.
All right. We'll see you in the next one. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe.
All right. See y'all later.
Bye-bye.